Hello there! I think we can agree that Game Update 6.2 gave us the epic end to Valkorion's story, along with an equally epic and challenging fight. He was not gonna give up that easily. In many ways, this fight has mechanics in common with boss fights from Operations and Master Mode flashpoints. So I'm gonna break down and explain how to beat him, like a boss. But before we go into the fight, I'm gonna quickly show you some good editing in your UI that will be very helpful for this fight. So you will go to this plus and you will go to Open Interface Editor. You can also choose to just press Escape and you will have the button here as well. In here, you will have something called Focus Target. It will be somewhere. Yours will probably not look like mine. But in here, it's very important that you make sure that this one is enabled. And then be sure that the Focus Target's cast bar is as well. Once you have this, you have the option now to target whatever you want to be your focus target. If you're a healer, that could be, for example, your main tank that you're healing, but it could also be the boss that you want to keep in focus at all time. Once you do this, you press Alt and then F. Then you will see it showing up here as your focus target, which means no matter what else you target, this one will be in your focus. It will also be able to be bigger, and so will the cast bar, which will be important for this fight. As you enter this fight, you will have SWTOR along as a healing companion, and you will be granted the twins, which will give you a special ability called Coordinated Strike. This will come in handy as the fight progresses. Valkorion will use several cast abilities against you. One will be called Devour Force, which is just a damage ability, so don't worry too much about this one. One is called Shattering Wave, which will knock you backwards. Then one will be called Soul Trap, which will leave a circle on the floor at your location with a glowing orb. As you see this being cast, keep moving to stay out of its way. Along with this, randomly a circle with a dome will spawn on the ground at your location as well, and this will slow and damage you over time. Simply move out of these. And finally, the most important of his abilities is called Implosion of Souls. This is a long cast of 12 seconds, which will heal him massively from all his clones that you can't even target, if not interrupted. Remember that ability from the twins? You have to use that special abilities whenever you see Valkorion cast Implosion of Souls to stop it. You don't have to ever worry about your health during this fight, because as soon as you hit approximately 10% health, you will be forced healed up to 50%. So never worry about your health, simply worry about the mechanics.
You will suffer.
Then we come to Vitiate. You keep the twins' Coordinated Strike ability here, but you also gain Scourge's ability, Challenge, which causes all enemies in an 8-meter radius to focus on him. This will be super helpful when all the extra enemies spawn. You will also get Kira's ability called Kira Now, which do significantly more damage to your target and even one-shot kills a weaker enemy. This part of the fight is more about many enemies, but you have to focus on his clones, called Will of Vitiate. You cannot harm him until you have killed all 3 clones, and Vitiate himself will continuously spawn other enemies until they are dead. Other than that, he is actually pretty straightforward compared to Valkorion.
We'll beat you again. Denied. I am immortal.
Then we come to Tenebree. Here you will yet again gain more helpful companions. Senya, along with her ability called Senya's Ward. This one will grant immunity towards Tenebree's frontal attack called Hateful Surge. When Tenebree reaches approximately 75% in health, you will be knocked down and incapacitated for approximately 10 seconds, but don't panic. He will take away your previous companions, so the twins and Kira and Scourge, and you will only have now Senya, Mar and Revan. Shortly after this, he will cast an ability called Immortality, which will render him invulnerable for as long as his clones, Will of the Emperor, are alive. During this, you have to also deal with his Deadly Strike ability. This ability will follow you around, so keep moving from the circles on the ground, as well as multiple enemies are spawning along with these clones. Remember, you can also interrupt the Force Storm from the clones, which will be useful if you're playing on a melee character. Then you have one massive special ability from Revan himself, called Revan's Fury. This has a long cooldown of 15 minutes, though you can only use this once, so use it wisely. This will be most useful when additional enemies spawn. You will also get help from Darth Maul's Unity ability, which is a heal ability that restores an extraordinary amount of health. The deadly strikes will happen during the entire fight, so keep moving as much as you can. Mobility is quite important. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Please leave a like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Maybe add a comment. Tell me how long it took you to beat this fight. And finally, if you like my content, please consider supporting me on Patreon for just $1 a month. It really helps me and my content. Bye!